Hi gay, and welcome back once again to the Little Glass Closet. I'm here with wonderful New York City showgirl, burlesque performer, drag performer, artist, Daniella Darling.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. This is a pipe dream. This is a pipe dream guest, guys. Like, I really hit her DMs and I was like, hey, long-time fan, first-time DMer.
Thank you. And I love a cold DM. I love a hey girl, because I'm gonna send the same thing back. I'd be like, yes, please.
And I feel like we've moved around like similar spheres in terms
100%.
of just like being queer and being like in the scene, being out.
If you're queer, if you're specifically sapphic, you know everyone. Like
Absolutely
every single person that
It's
has ever
circle.
been. Exactly. It's like, oh, you know that girl? That's my cousin, or that's my sister, or I met her 3 times and I know her.
And
Yeah.
type shit, yeah.
100%.
But do you want to describe in your own words for the audience what you do, who you are?
Yeah, I would love to. I'm a burlesque performer, a drag performer, an artist. I always say I'm a Taurus sun, a Colombian moon, and a dyslexic rising.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
But yeah, I always say showgirl because that kind of encompasses my entire thing. But yeah, I'm a performer and a diva.
Hi gay! A brief pause from the video for a special shout out from our sponsor, Bellesa. You guys know Bellesa by now. They are the #1 brand for all things sexual wellness, and this new drop is no exception. Meet the Whisper Collection, the world's first ever silent vibrators. Their new Whisper tech means you never have to choose between discretion and power. Exhibit A, the Whisper Bullet. Compact and discreet, but also, do you hear that? Exactly. But wait, there's more, because they have 4 styles. The Whisper Rabbit, the Whisper Vibe, and the Whisper Wand. They got deep and rumbly vibrations, they got precise center stimulation, and they're super soft, luxurious, and effective. And as a plus, my friends at Bellesa and I are sending out free vibrators to everyone who signs up for my giveaway. And when you sign up, you'll get a free Rose Toy or Whisper Vibe with the purchase of any Whisper line product. So yeah, it's time to prioritize your pleasure without waking up the whole house. So check it out, click the link in my description, and thank me later, because I know some of y'all needed to hear this. But you won't hear this.
And when you say showgirl, like, talk a little bit about your persona, your art. Like, do you feel like your performance is you? Is there a character? What are the influences?
That's a really good question. I like to talk about the specific of it too. I feel like I started in drag, calling myself a drag queen, and I still do identify as a drag queen. But as I kind of came into my transness, I realized that I love drag and I have a lot of respect for the art of drag, and that's always going to be part of me. But drag is something that I do, and showgirl is something that I am. I feel like to be a showgirl is kind of a state of mind.
Absolutely.
It's something that you kind of embody like day to day and not just on stage. It's very encompassing of a lifestyle. So I like showgirl because it's about being glamorous. It's about celebrating femininity and celebrating opulence, but also about like the hard work it takes to put a product on the stage. And I feel like it's always me and it's always authentically me, especially as a trans woman, but it's like me with a cherry on top is what I always say.
Stunning.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Like, can you talk a little bit about how you feel like your relationship with your art interacted with your identity and like that process, that journey?
Yeah, of course. It definitely took a minute to kind of, it's still an ever-going fight to not let one swallow the other, if that makes sense. I feel like performing femininity is very taxing at times and kind of takes away from just getting to like live as a woman, getting to live as a girl, getting to like live life as a person instead of giving so much of myself to what I put on stage. I think speaking on the drag versus showgirl like motif, I feel like drag is often about taking it off at the end of the night. It's kind of the superhero costume you put on or the mask that you put on. But for a lot of trans folks, it's less of a mask and it's more of just a heightened version of yourself, which is why it's so authentic and why it's so beautiful and why trans drag artists tend to be very captivating and very authentic. But it's also very hard because you don't get to take it off at the end of the night.
Yeah, there's not that reprieve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to really work extra hard for that work-life balance and the taking care of both people.
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah.
How did you enter the space? How long have you been in the city? How did you build into where you are now? How'd you get here?
Yeah. I moved here, I think about like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm so bad with dates. I have a goldfish brain. I always say I'm very pretty when people ask me about dates because I never really know. But I've been doing drag for going on 3 years in January. So yeah, I just started up with open sets and open stages, and really just I knew not a single person in New York City, no other drag artist. I didn't really know any. I didn't really have any friends. I kind of hit the scene as someone completely new to everything.
Wow.
I hit the drag scene when I was 19 years old. So
Nobody do the math. Like
I'm like, the statute of limitation is over. But yeah, I didn't really know anyone, and I was just very hungry for it. And yeah, I just did a bunch of open stages and had always had a love for drag. And then it kind of spiraled into me getting bookings and me meeting new people and getting into new spaces. And yeah, it really was kind of just an exploration of a very new thing in a very new place. And it's kind of, it's very fun. I look back and I don't think I could do it again today.
Yeah?
In the moment, it felt like all I had, like it's what I had to do.
Yeah,
but looking back at it, I'm like,
how?
I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what she was doing.
No,
But
low-key, I feel really similarly.
Yeah.
Like, even starting this podcast in like January, I'm like, I don't know if I could do that now.
Exactly.
How this happened.
The balls that it takes to
Yeah.
start things.
Yeah,
you look back and
absolutely.
you're like, how did I do that?
Well, you're a Taurus, so
Yeah.
you get things done.
You understand. You understand. The horns were in the ground and saying, I'm not moving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll say the first time I saw you perform was at the inaugural, I've mentioned this, I just did a video on like lesbian nightlife.
Yes.
And it was the inaugural blanking competition.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, New York City is so funny because I will do a show and be like, nobody remembers me from that show. And then 8 months later, someone will be like, I saw you on stage this night.
That was 2 years ago. I remember vividly. You were fantastic.
Thank you.
You were fantastic.
That's
That was the first time I saw you, and I was like, I'm gonna remember.
You're so sweet.
What's her name?
What's that one's name? The little one.
How'd you, like, was that more, did you consider that a performance? Was that just for fun with a friend, or like?
That is such a funny thing. It was to me a performance.
It gave.
But it was one of those things where that was right when I would have started performing.
Really?
And back then I probably would have considered it a performance. Now looking back, I was just having fun.
That's a key.
That was just a key.
That was a Tuesday.
Exactly. Just, church. It was a lovely church activity. Yeah, that's so funny that you saw me at that, because it's very funny that you had seen me at such a formative, like, baby queen, that capital B baby queen time.
It was giving seasoned.
Thank you.
The handstand.
Something.
But now I feel like you're working where you have your own show.
Yes.
At All Night Skate, which I'm a huge fan of. All Night Skate, I think such an
love
underrated
All Night Skate.
queer space, especially if you're in that part of Brooklyn. How'd that come about? What is your show about? What is the ethos of it?
Yeah. So the show is called Double D's. It's an all-trans extravaganza. We call it a party, a show. It's more just a space for trans people to come and celebrate and have fun and dance and see shows and see art. I actually met my co-host Didi Opulence. You'll see why it's called Double D's, because of both of us. Clearly, it's not because of me yet, but yeah. So me and Didi started that show because we met at All Night Skate, and we immediately connected. We met at an open set hosted by Silly Brown. It's called Blow Pop. It's now called Blow Pop. At the time, I don't believe it was. But it's their open set that they have at All Night Skate. And we had both started doing it when we just started drag. We were both babies. And we immediately saw each other and had a connection immediately. Like sister intuition of like, I'm going to know this person for a while. And as we got closer, we saw that there weren't a lot of spaces, like all trans spaces, or spaces for trans people, specifically in the burlesque realm and the stripping realm and the like sex positive, body positive realm. There's not a lot of like open sets that feel safe as a trans woman to take your clothes off or be vulnerable in that way. So we wanted to make our own space for that and also give a space to other people. So the show is just just that. It's a place for trans people to come of all shapes and sizes and all types and give whatever art they want to give. We always tell our artists and our guests, like, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, it can be burlesque, it can be drag. We've had the craziest performances. We've had just about everything from blood and guts to candle wax to
Amazing.
singing and dancing. But yeah, it's a show by trans people. We have an entirely trans casting crew. I believe it's one of few shows in New York City that can say that. And yeah, it's completely run by us, and we're very grateful for All Night Skate for putting us up and believing in us, because it started very small and now it's become something that we're very grateful for that is growing.
How long have you been doing that for?
I think a year and a half about.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
it's been a
gosh.
minute.
And I feel like people don't talk about how much it really, like, organizing events and spaces like that as an organizer, because you're a host and you're a performer and also an organizer of an event, and like that is, it's such a commitment, and I really commend anyone who creates those spaces, because they're so meaningful and valuable to so many people, and people don't always give you your flowers for also being the face, being the name, and then also signing the checks, you know?
Thank you so much, because me and Didi always talk about how we are so happy that we have so much control over that space, and we get to, because there's so many shows where they're like, we want you to do this number or this type of drag or this type of performance, you can't do this, you can do this, and that's lovely sometimes, but it's so cool to just get to do whatever we want, but it does come with having to do all of it to make sure it is what it is, but it's really a labor of love, and
Absolutely.
I feel like we do get our flowers from the people that come every single week or every single month. It's a monthly show, so the people that come, we have so many regulars. It's a family show. Everyone there at All Night Skate is family. Everyone, even if we've never met, it becomes a very tight-knit experience very quickly.
That's beautiful to hear. I love spaces like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something so beautiful about the queer community, like the regulars, like just, that's how I feel about like the Woods, you know? Even though some of those people are my family. Some of them are not my sisters, but they're all my cousins.
That part, it's like, I might not know you yet.
Right.
But if you come sit down next to me, like, we're gonna keep.
It's just what it is. Like, I think that's such a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
And I feel like different, because I also do want to talk about the relationship. Like, I want to talk about sisterhood. I want to talk about femininity. I want to talk about community. But
of course,
for like context on me, I feel like I came into my queerness specifically through drag. Like, before it was any of this gay shit.
Gay shit.
Gay shit. I was a drag stan. I was on Twitter, Bianca Del Rio, Ratata, I'm gonna move to New York. I'm gonna be a club kid. I'm going to post holes. Yes, like that's like what 16-year-old me was on about. And like now to actually live and value and understand and be an adult living and loving in queer community. Like, I'd love to know your meanderings on just like the space that you've built, especially coming in knowing no one. And the people who make up your community, and how that has, I guess, interacted with who you've become in the city.
Yeah, I love to hear that. I love to hear about the people that, I always make the joke where you can tell if a trans femme was raised by lesbians or by gay men, by how they are cultured, like the spaces that they inhabit, how they speak, like their references. You can always tell them, like, oh, you were raised by lesbians, or oh, you were raised by gay guys, like. And I always said I'm raised by gay guys. I was raised by gay guys. I was watching drag in my bedroom at like 14, like watching YouTube channels and watching live performances. I actually moved to New York because I made a list of all my favorite artists, drag queens, painters, dancers, writers, any kind of artist that I really looked up to or any kind of person. And I kind of realized that all of them lived here, or all of them had lived here at one point. And I said, "Oh, okay, all the lines are, something's clicking."
Something's clicking.
So I love that perspective, and I came here with a lot of reverence for those people. A lot of like, oh, I watched you on my TV. I had seen this space on Instagram. I had seen this space from afar, like, and I think the beautiful thing about New York City specifically is it is, and this is said by, I believe it was Chiquitita and Julie J on a separate podcast, but New York City is a matriarchy. Like, it is run by trans women.
Period.
And it's run by black trans women. Drag as a whole is, but New York City is one of the better scenes at celebrating that and giving black trans women their flowers in drag. We still have a lot of work to do in that regard, but I came into the scene with that reverence of like, these are the people that are moving the culture and that are championing our community and doing the work. So I kind of came in very, I'm still a baby, but the one time I will get on my high horse is I think the newer generations of drag right now want to come in and really expect gigs and expect flowers and expect money.
Yeah.
And it's I think the reason I'm very grateful for the success that I had, and I think a lot of that is attributed to like me coming in and be like, I don't know shit, but I'm hungry to learn.
Humility and passion.
Yeah, it was kind of, I came in so in over my head that I was willing to soak it all up and like give the respect that was needed to be given.
That makes a lot of sense, and I think that's so valuable. And this kind of comes up as I talk to like so many different types of artists and creators on this podcast, of like, even the Jennifer episode that I know you watch because you're friends with Eli, like just like what it means to be an artist or be famous or be known for your art is really if that genuine love is there for like the people who have come before you, for the artists who are going to be inspired by you, for the community who's watching you. Like, that's what makes you successful,
100%.
I think. And I hear what you're saying, that sometimes, especially I had to retire from the drag community, from the drag race fan community, because I definitely feel that culture shift, and not even just like obviously from the queens, but from some of the fans as well, like just like an arrogance, and like now it, when drag race hit the mainstream, obviously around like season 12.
Yeah.
Hey.
The ghosts are at the walls.
But like, yeah, once I think drag race hit the mainstream around season 12, like just like it changed. I think when things become like capital, a lot of money, big worldwide tour,
100%.
It loses like really what I think you're exactly talking about, that feeling you have at like All Night Skate is like really what it's always been about.
Yeah.
And I think that's so beautiful. Do you feel that way? Like,
definitely. I think televised drag as a whole is like, it's gifted us so much as a community.
True.
But it also just shows us how important local drag is. I know everyone's always saying,
support local drag.
Yeah, exactly.
Support your local queens, yes.
It's like, what would you do in this situation? I would support local drag. I would support local drag. But it's so true. And I think oftentimes televised things can kind of, I mean, anytime art, like you think of your art at a mainstream level, it does kind of become a little bit more shallow if that's your main goal, is what I mean. Like, if your main goal is to be mainstream and your main goal is to make money or to be famous, it's always gonna kind of taint.
Absolutely, come at the cost of
exactly.
your art, yeah.
And I feel like that's why we can get like you can feel the energy of those who are doing it because they have a passion for it and because they have a genuine like hunger for it, which I think is really beautiful. And I think Double D's is all trans because we needed that space where we were in our lives, but now I'm so grateful that it's all trans because I feel like a lot of trans performers for so long were told that they can't be mainstream. Like, especially right now, I mean, there are still pageants out there that won't allow trans women.
Wow.
There are still pageants that won't allow like AFAB performers or performers that aren't assigned male at birth, and
interesting.
There's still a lot of weird and fucked up discrimination in drag and in communities for no reason. Yeah. So it's ultimately televised drag is incredible, but on a mainstream level, there's so much more than that. And I think having to step away from that side of it is very like understandable. Because even as someone who works in it as my full-time job, I have to be like, I'm gonna go over here for a second.
Like, 5.
Exactly, I'm gonna take 10. But.
Definitely. And I feel like that thought also kind of touches on, I'm really referencing my last video I posted that's about the scene.
Yeah.
And like, it's a real celebration of the scene, but like, that's what I mean by the scene. It's like people, we all share something. Like, even I'd say like, obviously we're in like different sectors, but it's one big pot.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's people who share that like-minded love for just like being around each other,
100%.
if that makes sense. Like, I don't really go to straight spaces anymore. I don't want to go to, what's one, Tao? Listen,
Girl.
I'll get dinner. Listen, I like dinner. But I'm not going to Tao for fun.
If a man is paying the tab, I could be seated
I could be seated at Tao.
I could be seated
at Tao.
I could check my calendar. But
no, absolutely.
For fun,
yeah.
I don't think I've willingly been to a straight bar my entire time, my entire experience in New York City. I have been dragged there by other queer people,
Ever.
but I genuinely don't see a time where I've been like, oh my god, a straight bar, work, foul. Like,
Literally.
I'm just not that girl, and I'm just like, we have so much. We're so privileged in New York to have so many spaces comparatively. I mean, I told you I grew up in the Midwest, and I think I grew up in Indiana, and I think we have 3 gay bars that I know the name of in the entire state.
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
So I like have gotten used to the privilege of 3 gay bars on one block. So in New York, I'm like, I'd rather, if I'm gonna pay $15 for a vodka soda, I'm gonna give it to a gay person.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna give it to a straight person.
Sorry.
Now if the man is paying for it.
Absolutely. Then I'll take it. Like, I will take it.
Exactly.
Twist my arm.
Sorry, oops.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting segue to talk about, like, I don't know, dating, love, relationships. Like, you're in a public relationship.
Yes. I have a husband, a boy wife. We're not quite married, but in my heart, I'm married.
Absolutely.
I operate my life as a married woman, but also a woman of the world.
Absolutely.
So, no, I've been dating my partner for 2 years. They're also a very popular drag artist named Zana Horia. Drag artist, tattoo artist, runner. They're the first. They are the fastest time that has ever won the non-binary category in the New York Marathon.
Wow.
That was the craziest way to say that in a sentence. What I'm saying is they won and they're very fast. That's all I mean. But yeah.
Y'all are some title holders because you won Best Drag Performance?
Best burlesque performance.
Best burlesque performance.
Essentially, potato. Is that the one? Yeah.
One of them.
One of them.
At the New York Nightlife Awards.
Yes.
Yes.
I won Best Burlesque Performer. It's called the Glam Awards. It's New York City's nightlife/drag awards. Wow. And I was the first trans femme to win, which is very, very special.
Absolutely.
Very, very interesting that it took 26 years.
Very interesting.
So interesting, actually. But yeah, it's very special that we are both. Up until then, I had been very. Like living in the Midwest, I dated almost exclusively cis men. Like I had been very trapped in that. I thought that was all that I was really allowed to do. Especially coming into my transness, I think often I was perceived as a gay boy. So like, it was hard to pursue like other people other than what was kind of thrust upon me. No pun intended. But yeah, it's just such a lovely experience dating someone who is trans and someone who gets it and someone who understands it, and also someone who is very publicly trans in the field that they are in. We have a lot in common with them and them being like a pioneer in trans sports, in sports in general, but as a trans person. And I feel similarly in burlesque, because the burlesque world as a whole has a lot of progress to be made. Towards like booking trans performers, including trans performers of all bodies, and not just the skinny white performers that can pass. But there's a lot to be said there. But specifically about romance, it's very special to have someone that can relate to me on, like we can relate to each other in that and kind of take care of each other in that way.
I'm just a really big fan.
You're so sweet.
Sometimes when I need dopamine, I'll be like, let me see what them two are up to.
Like, and that's my thing is before them, I was the Grinch. I was like, love is not real. I will never find it. I cannot stand, like, love just isn't real. Y'all can have fun, but it's not for me. And to be so publicly lovey-dovey with someone is so unlike who I was for so long. So I'm very shocked at how I've changed in that way, but it's all very.
It's a beautiful thing.
It just is a testament to how happy I am and how like comfortable I feel.
Oh gosh, I needed to hear this today. Sorry guys.
I know.
I need time.
And we are lesbian as fuck in the way that we got together.
You guys heard it here. I can't. Do you feel like this is like genuinely like curious question?
Of course.
In a space that's so, I don't know, like going out, meeting people, doing, like what's that like having like, you know, a home base and like being so in love? maybe that's phrasing it wrong, but just like, you know what I mean?
I think I know exactly what you're asking, because I think about this a lot, and I get this question a lot, because with the nature of nightlife and with the nature of our jobs, nightlife is a lot of flirting. It's a lot of like being young, especially in burlesque. You're selling sex. Like my act is very sensual. It's very sexual. It's very like intimate. So we are open in our relationship, and it's one of the things I'm most grateful about in my life. Not to get cheesy, but to get to be young and dumb and do things with boundaries and communication and all of that. But it's very special to get to live the fantasy of like your New York nightlife fantasy. You get to go out and have fun and like enjoy yourself. We both get to be humans and experience something that we haven't gotten to in our lives, and then come home and be so secure and be so in love, with a lot of communication, with a lot of understanding, with a lot of work put into the relationship. It's not easy, but it is like, I think in a culture that's very
constrictive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially for queer people, love is not something we get to see often. We don't have a lot of role models or a lot of like, as much as straight people do.
Definitely.
So I'm very blessed to have that and to have found that. Because I come from an entire family of divorce. Like everyone in my family, like all of my extended relatives are divorced or should be divorced.
Help.
My mom's gonna watch this and be like, "Oh, don't say that shit." But yeah, I come from a lot of. I'm adopted, so I was adopted into an all-white family, and then, being a child of divorce, I have a lot of step family and a lot of like distant extended family. So chosen family is something that's very important to me, because blood has never really meant anything to me. So that even goes further with like having a partner and building a life together is something I was so afraid of my entire life, especially in a culture that's very, hookup culture in the gay community is huge, especially in the gay male community, which is a lot of
I heard
the
about
drag
Snuffies.
space.
Oh.
Listen, I have yet to be on Sniffies.
Sniffies?
See, Sniffies is not for the girls. There are girls out there that are going to tell you that it's for the girls. I'm not going to tell those girls that it's not for them. I'm just telling the girls watching me right now, it's not for the girls. Have your fun. It's not for the girls. Get off of that app. Thank you.
PSA.
No, I totally lucked out with this one.
I think it's such a dope balance, especially themes around what you're saying around like, growing up queer and in the suburbs, like you said. And I feel similarly, even though I was close, I'm from Jersey, like close in proximity to New York. I'm from like the suburbs.
But still, the suburbs.
I'm from the boonies. And like building, understanding your queerness, like you never get to have, like I really came up, it was drag and then like YA. Like I loved me to all the boys I ever loved before, like a little rom-com, something to that nature. And it's like those two worlds don't ever get to kiss,
Exactly.
And like coming to New York, and especially like being a part of this, like truly this community, like that this podcast is here to try and like document and like really, and like so many people I've told you like know each other.
100%.
Who I have on the show. It really is like a community. It is a community. Like, and being a part and seeing, we were even just, before we rolled, I think we were talking about like the web and like that's my ex and that's my ex's ex.
No,
and, like,
literally.
It really is, I think, healing and resonative in so many ways. Like that balance of like having like my home base, my person who also lets me explore, lets me like experience sensuality, like in my spaces with my people. Like that's so beautiful.
Yeah. And I also love, it's very funny, they coined the term, heart closed, legs open.
Right.
So I'm very much like, I'm very much, that is my husband. Nobody, like, it's a wrap. That's my husband. I'm picking out wedding rings. Like, there's no doubt about that. But it is so lovely to, like, get to do the things that straight people got to do in high school and got to do publicly with their families and got to, like, truly live that life and be messy and be fun and have these relationships with new people. And also something beautiful about what you're doing and what nightlife does is like documenting relationships, meeting new people, making connections. Like that's why stuff like this is so magical. It's like you're getting to connect people with new connections and new things that they wouldn't get to see, and having a level of openness in the relationship is really special because it lets you have a little bit of freedom while also having accountability and caring about someone and learning how to do that and navigate that.
Yeah. There's a lot of poly hate. There's a lot of poly hate, but there's a lot of poly love.
There's a lot of poly love. Listen. To all you polycules in Brooklyn.
This one's for you.
This one's for you. Pour one out for the polycules.
For the polycules, yes.
You should have never told me to look at that.
You can talk to them. I should go.
I'm like, I'm gonna have a moment with my girls. But
your energy is just so majestic. Like, you're so brilliant. I can't.
You're so sweet.
Like, how do you feel like you can, how do you feel about yourself in life, walking through life, looking, and especially because this episode's been so much, like, looking at your past, where you came from with your art, like, how are you, genuinely? Like, how do you feel?
That's a loaded question. I feel like, I've said it multiple times to my close ones, I feel like I'm having the best and worst year of my life.
I was saying that all yesterday.
I feel like that's the global kind of consensus right now. It is kind of, especially the queer community, especially in New York, it's very much, we're all thriving while the world's on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know how to exactly articulate it, but I feel like the past 2 years of my life, 3 years of my life, have been the only ones I've been, like, alive for.
So
Everything
real.
before that was such a different time. I was such a different person. And drag and nightlife in New York City really helped me kind of get my shit together and, like, learn all the things I needed to learn, but also learn how to choose myself, if that makes sense. I always say I've been doing drag for almost 3 years. I've only really felt good about it for less than a year, which is very, like, complicated. I think, like I mentioned earlier about being, like, a child of adoption in an all-white family, I did feel like I had to, like, everyone else in my family is very teacher, lawyer, white picket fence, Midwest family, 2 kids and a dog, like, very traditional, and I'm kind of the odd one out for a few different reasons. So I feel like this era of my life has been really, instead of proving to other people, I'm proving to myself that I deserve to be happy. I don't know, it's very sappy, but, like, I feel like for so long it was, I have to do this to impress people, I have to do this, like, I have to be at this level in nightlife, I have to be at this level in performing, I have to, like, hit it, and now I'm kind of at a point where I'm learning how to do things because I want to, or because it's my passion, or because that's what I see for myself and not what I see other people seeing for me.
That's so real.
Yeah. I feel like that's a very common thing of us, like...
But it takes people different amounts of time to, I think, come to that point where you're like, oh, 100%. Shit. Like, I low-key need to lock in on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, guys.
It's so
who am
cheesy,
I?
but, like, I can't live for other people anymore. But it's true, like...
It's true, though.
You gotta learn to, like, choose yourself. And I think, especially, I am very privileged to kind of, to work a certain amount, to touch a certain amount of stages, and, like, to have made an impact in the small time I've been in New York City, and I'm very grateful to have had those opportunities. But I think a lot of people approach me. My least favorite thing to hear is when people are like, oh, you're so this, oh, but you already know that. You're so talented, or you're so, like, X, Y, and Z, but you already know that, and you don't need me to say it. Because I always feel like a scared little girl trapped in a beautiful, gorgeous diva's body, where I'm just some girl that just happened to walk onto that stage and do my little thing, and some people liked it, and I said, okay, I'll do it again.
I'll do it again.
So I think I kind of give off a sense of confidence that is why I have success and is why I am, like, kept safe, but it also is not really who I am. So I think it's kind of a misconception of those who aren't close to me. Like, once you get close to me, you can kind of see under it, but...
Because you're human,
exactly.
You know?
It is very funny, because I'm a lot shyer than I come off often. Like...
You think?
I think so. I think I'm shyer when the curtain's off. And I think that people don't expect that.
They expect like lights, camera, action, 24/7.
Exactly, 100%.
It's like,
which is back to the like whole conversation
Exactly.
about the girl behind the showgirl, which is something. I think this is the first year where I've been really focusing on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you feel like? Sorry, I forget.
You said, do you feel like?
Do you feel like this? Like, do you ever feel like?
Have you ever felt like?
Like sometimes, like fuck.
Just a little bit.
But I think that that's really. I keep just saying everything you're saying is beautiful because I do really think as much as you're saying it feels like, you know, everyone can say this and everyone can it feels this way, but it's like to hear it sometimes, especially I'm going through it. I'm sure many people watching will benefit from feeling like shit. You will and can get to a place where you're just like invested in yourself and you've built all the sets and you've hung all the lights and like now you can just like go backstage and look in the mirror, you know?
I love that analogy.
I love an analogy. That's what I do.
Metaphor,
One of
analogy,
them.
painting a picture.
Painting a picture.
I didn't go to college. I don't know.
But I really commend that. I think
Thank
that's
you.
like really, really dope. Like this episode's making me. I don't know if I'm sweating or I'm crying. Like I'm like shit.
Just a little bit of both.
You caught me on a day, okay? I'm going through something right now.
At all times.
Literally. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I really did have a thought because I thought what you said was so potent. Let me think though.
Baby, my head is constantly empty. I have about 2 thoughts a day, and thank God they're happening during this podcast because I'm usually
Mog.
just no thoughts.
What I was gonna ask this one was, I was surprised to hear, maybe surprised is the wrong word, but I'm curious to hear that you feel like people sometimes project things onto you as a person or feel like surprised when you have multidimensionality and are not just surf cunt boots. Like,
Exactly.
You know?
I think it's a kind of funny how I'm perceived sometimes, because I think my biggest compliment is like the people close to me, the people that I work with often always say I'm very genuine, and that's something I try. It's also something I can't really turn off, and I've kind of always been kind of embarrassed about how I can't put on that like diva attitude that I see a lot of people have. I can't really put that wall up, which is beautiful because it makes me able to connect with people, but it does make me feel very exposed at times.
Yeah.
And I think in nightlife there are so many big personalities and so many characters. Like drag often is people put on a costume. They put on this heightened performative behavior, and I love that. But sometimes it makes it hard to see the person behind the drag persona or the nightlife persona. I think some of our favorite DJs have personas. I think some of our favorite hosts have personas. Like
Really
everyone
true.
has this little character that they put on when they walk out at night.
Yeah. So
Even
true.
I do. Like everyone does. But I think sometimes people approach me in a way of like, now what's underneath? And I'm like, oh, this is just like
This is just me for real.
I'm not playing. Like this is just how like. And sometimes I'm not. I think sometimes I think that everyone else is doing that.
Being off.
Yeah.
Or not maybe because I'm not trying to.
Yeah,
I know
it's-
what you're saying. It's not intrinsically bad to be having your out person persona,
Of course.
but sometimes it can cause a wall to connection.
100%.
Or genuine connection all the time.
Exactly. And sometimes I feel like I'm not on the same page as other people. And it's I often say people's biggest flaws are also their biggest like gifts.
Probably tea.
And mine is like being a little too open sometimes and being a little too genuine. I feel like yeah, I'm like, which is why you're so good at a podcast, because you said, wait, you're so right.
Wait, what?
Wait, podcast.
I never thought that. Like,
But yeah, I think it's very special in connecting with people during the day, and it's very special through my art, but it gets dangerous at nightlife because it's definitely, there's a lot of big personalities. And
hustle.
Yeah.
Is
you
it
can kind of get
competitive?
lost in it. What'd you say?
Do you feel like it's competitive?
Yes. I feel like the New York scene, specifically with drag, because drag and burlesque are very different industries. They're parallel to each other, but they're very different in like how you navigate them. I feel like compared to smaller scenes, we are much more kind of, I wouldn't say it's like a community, like everyone's a community. There's obviously little pockets, but I feel like as a whole, New York, there's so many opportunities that it's a little less cutthroat.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
You do have to pound the pavement, and you have to be unique, and you have to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, specifically in my hometown and a lot of other smaller scenes, when girls come to New York, they are kind of flabbergasted at like, oh wow, y'all are not nasty to each other, or y'all are not fighting for these gigs. Like, because I mean, one bar for 100 queens is different than 50 bars for 1,000 queens, because there are so many drag queens in New York City.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more gigs to go around, so the competition is different than in a smaller scene.
Okay. And you feel like there is that more community
Definitely
aspect.
I feel like it is about networking and who you know and things like that, but there is a lot more people in New York looking to uplift, at least now, in my opinion. I think some other generations of people, or people that came up in different corners of the scene, would say things differently, but I've witnessed a lot of like kindness in the way of like not quite like, oh my god, here, let's come to this gig, but if you can keep up with New York, the competition is more in surviving in the city and surviving in a scene that is so filled with icons and stars than it is like actually competing for the gig, if that makes sense.
You versus the game more than you versus each other.
Exactly. That's a beautiful way to put it.
It's always the game.
Exactly. You got the mind of a mastermind.
What advice, like on a closing night, on a closing note, what advice do you think you would give to like a young queen, not in the city, maybe wants to come to the city, or even yourself like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Specifically for other people, I think uniqueness is very important. I say uniqueness, versatility, and professionalism are the 3 things that I think people are most successful with. Because in New York, there's so many people, there's so many artists, there's so many personalities, there's so many like bright shining stars that your uniqueness will carry you through. And then professionalism, because I think you can be the most talented person in the room, but if you're not professional, especially in the drag scene, you will get, especially in burlesque as well, you will get knocked down very quickly, or you will not get the opportunities you want. And the versatility. The beauty about New York drag is that there is so many types of it. Like, we have the most incredible variety of all types of art that could all fall under the category of nightlife performance or variety act. So if you're able to do more than one thing, I feel like that's very helpful. But advice for myself, chill out. Well, I always want to say that to myself, but then I'm also like, the reason that I am where I am is because I'm crazy and evil. So I don't want to tell myself to chill out, but remain crazy and evil, but be nicer to yourself in the process. I think that is what I would like to say to myself, because I'm proud of myself for my ambition and how fierce I am to myself, but then there's times where I'm like, girl, be nice to her. It's me looking in the mirror, I'm like, be nice to her. Yeah.
When you're mean to me, look who you're being mean to.
Look at,
and it's me.
She didn't do anything to you, and it's just me in my mirror.
Like having a whole dialogue.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's beautiful. I think you're so incredible. I'm gonna tap in on my skate. I want to see the double D's. Like, compliment.
It's usually the first Wednesday of the month. You're very inconsistent. So check my Instagram, check All Night Skate's Instagram, check Didi's Instagram for the actual dates. But it's usually the first Wednesday. We try to do it.
Beautiful. All of y'all should check out Daniella's Instagram, and her art and her work, and just comment beautiful things under her photos, because I sure am about to.
Thank
Don't
you.
see me in her comments. If you see me in her comments, don't say nothing.
Wait, if we see us in each other's comments, mind your business.
This girl. This way. But thank you guys so much for watching. Any final notes for the people?
Stay fierce.
Yeah, I must do that. Stay fierce.
No, please, stay fierce. Ooh.
Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.